Hi everyone. Again, this is the part two of the event of the Connect London. So on the first part, I already presented all these slides, everything AI related, all the AI tools that you can find in HubSpot, some of the ones that consume credits and the ones that don't. I gave you a sneak peek on the agents, but now I'm going to focus only in the prospecting agents. So again, first the presentation, then I'm gonna jump into the deployment part. Okay. Again, my name is Koke. Blah blah blah. I've been in Hustle for 6 years. I'm a sales specialist, and I'm here today to talk to you about the prospecting agent. So let me remove a few things from my screen. Okay, perfect. So let's start with the big struggle. So marketing generate leads, but leads go cold because there aren't enough hours in the day to work them, right? We might have a very small sales team, or we might have a large sales team that are getting too many leads, and that's a reality. So for those kind of issues, meet the prospecting agent. This is your 24/7 BDR. It works nights, weekends, and holidays, so your humans team don't have to, right? They will take your humans, people in your team, the real humans, not the agents. They will be taking holidays. They will be enjoying parties to celebrate the scaling of your business and their promotions. But the prospecting agent doesn't just send emails. It does the research. It strategizes, and it waits for the perfect moment to strike and start outreaching to your leads. So, why are we doing this? Because the mass of the traditional prospecting is broken. To get quality, you usually sacrifice speed. And to get speed, you sacrifice quality. So, the agent breaks that. It can research, for example, 10 contacts in a minute. So, if anybody here tells me that you know a video that can reach one lead, sorry, they can research a lead in 6 seconds, please let me know because I want to meet that person. I'm going to refer them to HubSpot as soon as possible. Um, but going back to the point, it works 10 times faster than human reps, right? But critically, it lives in the CRM. So it knows the history about that customer, ensuring that it never makes a mistake on the communication that previously knows or pages that they visit. But we're going to cover a little bit more of the intent now. So, how does it actually convert those leads? It comes down to the when and the what, right? So the when is the intent signals, as you can see there in the screen. The agent is watching for behavioral triggers. This could be website visits that I mentioned before, market news, and it knows when the buyer is ready to move on, when they are researching about a product, a service that they need on their business. And the what is the CRM context. So it knows they downloaded an ebook last week, and it knows that they have an open ticket with support. So if that's the case, it shouldn't be the right time to start kind of like trying to sell them something, right? Let's solve first and then try to sell them. Sorry. Yeah. When you combine the signals and the context, when you combine the when and the what, you get the power couple effect. So you get up to 2 times higher response rate. And this is not something that I'm just saying because the marketing team put it in there on the HubSpot website. This is because you can see it with your own eyes. And these are real life customer success stories, right? So if we look at slide line productions, for example, by letting the agent handle the outreach, they were able to reach out to 1,200 contacts. Their sales team gain hours back every day. But we also have the example of reseller ratings. in there. They found that the AI outperformed their best videos in quality because it never got tired of doing the research. So I will leave it there for a few seconds. You can read the other two examples, and I'm gonna move on. Now, you might be thinking, do I trust the AI to speak for my brand, to speak for my company? Think about the agent as a talented actor, right? And you are the director, so you have full control. You direct that movie, the outreach. So you set the tone. Could it be formal? Could it be casual? You decide. You can set the rules. Never use emojis. I always mention a promo or a specific product because we're launching, we're doing a pilot about that product. So anything that you want to add in there. You give it the playbook, right? And it executes it every time perfectly. It doesn't make the mistakes. And as we move into the workshop phase, remember, you have the control. We are going to set up the agents now, but nothing is going to spend any credits until you enroll a contact. Once you enroll the contact, then it consumes 100 credits. So, but the setting part is not going to do anything, right? So feel free, safe to follow along. And yeah, let's open our laptops and let me stop sharing here. So if I move to the prospecting agent, you already saw what is the outcome, right? In the previous, if you watch the video number one, you saw that it did a research on the contact on the company. It looked at news of the company. It looks at all the communication that contact that I'm enrolling have with my business, right? I can see there company research. I see all the contact research, the company values, everything that I fed this prospecting agent. And I'm going to go into the settings in a few seconds. But I also want to show you this other part because this is super important. If we go to sales and we go to target accounts, and I find one of my target accounts here, PwC. Here in the summary, I can see some information. If I am following that company, which I'm not right now, let me see. Can I go to the record? Let me see if I can go to that company. That's the only thing I want. Let's go to the contact quickly. Let's go to the company. And here is where I can enable the signal tracking. So I did the research, right? But this is the when that I mentioned earlier. This is when you enable the signal tracking. I'm not going to enable it now. I'm going to enable it tomorrow. But once I enable it, it will look at the visitor intent, research intent, funding, tech investment, geo expansion, leadership content, job started or ended, and email bouncing. So here are the three research words, keywords that I have. And I can see that there has been some research. So if I enable this and I am enrolling that person into the prospecting agent, this is going to work better. This is the part that is going to say, now is the time to reach out to that contact. But anyways, here, some AI tools. It gives me all the information. I can see, for example, George is that person from a LinkedIn message. I getting information. They're using PlanHut. They're using Zendesk. Prior emails include information about big data and some other information. But if I move to Insight, here I see the research that was previously done by the prospecting agent. In the buyer groups, I find the guy. This is our guy, George. And if I click in Actions and I click in Draft an email with AI, this will write an email and I can select one of the two different profiles that I have, selling profiles, or I can also enroll directly in the agent, and this will not only draft one email, it will do the follow up, the outreach of more than one email, right? Depending on what I set up in there. So once I draft the email, here it is. I can swap the profile, regenerate these, and now is trying to sell them Data Hub, as we can see here, right? Can also change the language and so on. But now let's go into the deployment part because, again, ideally, what we want here today is setting up one selling profile. And once that is done, we will work into enrolling a contact. That contact can be yourself. So don't worry, you need to actually enroll a real lead. But my recommendation is do it. Do it and see how it actually works. If you want to enroll a lead that is not a very warm lead or is not a target account, feel free to do it and see how it actually works. So here we are, prospecting agent. This is the view I am seeing because I already set up my prospecting agent, but many people will see this. So for the people that see this, they can click in Setup Agent. If your website is already connected to HubSpot in the settings, this will analyze the domain. Will analyze the domain, it will find certain information like what your company sell, what is your value proposition, what are the pain points that your company solve for, products. In case you have more than one, you can create and add your products in there. And again, you can create multiple selling profiles. So if you want to create one per product, one per brand, one per market, one per team, you decide. You have that flexibility, right? And from here, you can give it a name as well. And then we click in next. So once we click in next, what we need here is to identify. Are we going to send this from a contact owner? And in case the contact owner, the contact doesn't have an owner, it falls back into a specific sender, right? Or you can do it from a single user. So if it's only going to be me, the one that is going to be using the prospecting agent, then I can say, hey, send everything from Coke, and that's fine. Now, we do need to connect our email here. And because I don't have my email, I can't proceed, but I will let you know what is next, because the next part is the identity. The following part is the call to action, and I'm going to go into one of the agents that I already created. So identity, that's where we were. Then call to action. Here is where I can select send a meeting link. That can be a team meeting link. It can be the person's meeting link. You decide. You can also send a document if you want. In my case, because this selling profile is for Service Hub, I've added a one pager about Service Hub that is there on the internet. So the next part would be the outreach options. And if I go to the outreach options, I get to select one of these two. The first is going to be the semi-autonomous prospecting agent. It's the same one that I showed you earlier, where if I select this one, I'm telling it, write the emails, I'm going to review them, potentially modify them, and then I'm going to approve it and it's going to be sent. Or I can fully trust AI and I can say, send these emails automatically and everything is going to be fine. I trust you. I have no fear. So you decide which one you want to use there. Um, I believe it also includes the guidance in there. So you can choose execution business days if you want, the timing, making sure that it's not going to be sending 24 hours. I think this one is sending 24 hours, but you can select when it's going to be sending the emails. So, for example, if I want to be a little bit more like human, I can select between 7 a.m. and maybe 7 p.m. No more than that. I'm going to update, and you give it the time zone. You say how many days is the minimum time between the emails. In my case, I gave 3. You can give 5 or 4. You decide. And you can also set up what is going to be the max number of emails that is going to be sending. Now, there is one other part that is worth mentioning here, because this part is going to be essential. This is where you can give it extra instructions, more advanced instructions, and you can use here anything from a selling framework, anything from guidelines, what not to say, and so on. So here's where you can define these the best way possible so it adapts to the way that your company actually outreach, the way that your company sells, um, and yeah, you have the flexibility there. If you don't know what to do here or what to add, in my case, I created a master prompt. You can use any of the basic one here. So if you click in one of those, my prompt would disappear, and you would have any of those based on the seniority based messaging or the email frequency or the industry specific approach. You can say always send an email. Even if there is no data in the CRM, I wouldn't recommend that because the context again is super important, but you decide what this is going to be. And you can always test it here as well, see how this is going to look like when it's sending the emails. So this is just an example. Those are the 3 emails. Then here it says agent continue monitoring and compose later emails later based on this person clicking one of the pages, they visit any other pages, did we find more information about that company? So if that's the case, it would normally write the other emails. It will find the time to outreach. So going back here, I can enroll users, right? But before we enroll any users, what I'm going to walk you through is in the agent setup again. When we create the different profiles, we have 2 other tabs. One is the exclusion list. Here you can say, you know what, maybe I only work B2B. So you can create a list with all the contacts in your CRM that have a Gmail account or Yahoo or Hotmail. And in that case, exclude those from here. You can also add some other customers that are existing customers. And even though they meet certain criteria, you don't want those to be outreached by the prospecting agent. So if you need to add any exclusions, you can add it in there. Then we have this bar. Do not touch anything here. That's essential. So this is the automation. This is where you decide if you want to do this in bulk, right? So, for example, when a page is view, enroll the contact to the prospecting agent, and you can give it a name to that automation. You can select the agent. You can select the selling method. You can select the autonomy or reviewing, and you can filter this in a way, right? We also have when a form is submitted. So here we can do the same. We can select the specific form, and then it does the outreach. We can also select more things like when days since last engagement, is more the next days, enroll the contact in the prospecting. So it can help you here. If you have a contact that went cold, a lead that went cold, you can turn that on after X amount of days that they haven't reached out to you. You will try different methods, right? So that's a way to enroll the leads into the prospecting agent. You can also enroll the leads directly from a contact. So if I go to contacts here and I look at that contact again, so I think it was Coquejeo Casa 20. So if I look at this contact and I select it, from here I can also enroll this contact in an agent. So then you have two options. You have automation, you have directly from here. As I showed you earlier as well, from a target account, you can also look at the target account and enroll the contact directly here, or draft one email. And last but not least is this part. You can also create workflows, right? Oh, I think that is one that I already created. So enroll contact in prospecting agent in the OK prompt, in the good prompt. So if I click in this workflow, I selected manual trigger, right? And the reason for that is because if I go back to the contact and I navigate here, I created these buttons for automation. So to make it a little bit easier, I can roll the contact in the prospecting agent from here, from here. That's another thing that I created. But you can do it like that if you wanted to run manually, or you can give it a criteria. And here is where HubSpot does give you the flexibility to enroll the contact in the prospecting agent whenever you want, as you can use anything as a trigger. It could be a page view. It could be, like it shows here, events. If you connect anything, even external, that happens externally to HubSpot, you still can do it. Let's say, for example, your website is not hosted in HubSpot, your forms are not hosted in HubSpot, and you have leads I know, requesting trials. So you can enroll them here as soon as they click on the trial, or you can enroll them here if your trial is for 30 days, 7 days after they started the trial. So those are just a couple of examples. But again, you can choose anything from the criteria is met, and here we can use anything from behaviors or properties or custom events, like the example I just gave you. So if you're ready, my recommendation and my next step would be navigate to a contact. That contact, again, could be yourself. If you don't have yourself as a contact in HubSpot, you can add the contact, you can create new. Then, for this to work the best way possible, okay, here, casa, we go into the contact. I already have it there. We can go into the contact, and you can add a note, or you can log an email. You can log a LinkedIn message. You can log a WhatsApp message, anything you want. Also, give it a role, right? Here, I give it a job title. So within this information, now I enroll the contact in the prospecting agent. And from here, I can see the information. I can see it's reaching out, and that's the email that I created. I can modify this email. I can approve it, and then the prospecting agent start the outreach. So that is my second session. I'm gonna start presenting again because this is one part that I want to show you. So this is my last slide, and this is an example of a good pilot. If you would like to go ahead with this pilot, Here's your goal for the next 15 days. We're not going to travel to the moon. It's not something super hard. I'm not going to teach you how to start surfing. I don't even know how to surf. I would die. But I'm proposing that you enroll 100 contacts in the next 15 days, and specifically the leads that are showing signals, or maybe some leads that attended to one of your in-person events, webinars, or anything like that. Maybe some people that you've been reached out on LinkedIn, and we're going to watch the open rates again. The when is going to be the signals, and you already have the context as well. So the what. Um, and we will see what's happened with this. What I'm expecting to see is those numbers that you see there. So 2 times open and click rates. Your reps will be saving time, and we're expecting at least 2 deals to be created. So having said that, I'm finishing, and I believe I added my last slide as well. So thank you very much for your time. Let me know. Feel free to send any feedback. And if you want to connect on LinkedIn, there you go. Have a good night. Bye bye.